Rise and shine, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at 6 a.m. on your Thursday, your Friday Junior. I'm Jason Hackett alongside Lauren Lemanchek. Got a lot to get to this morning, including a couple of breaking news stories in Minneapolis and St. Paul. We're going to get to that in just a minute.
Yeah, but first we have to prepare you for some storms heading our way tomorrow night. Our weather team has declared a KARE 11 weather impact alert on that. So let's get right to John Ziegler with more on what you need to know. Hey, John.
Hey, good morning, guys. We have some storm chances tonight in northern Minnesota, but really most of us are going to be dealing with that squall line potential late Friday. And I've got the exact timing. Yesterday, it kind of looked like Saturday could end up being a severe day as well. Now it's starting to be clear that Saturday's more southwest Wisconsin. Western and northwest Wisconsin and Minnesota, Saturday looks mainly dry. So today is mainly dry. Friday's mainly dry, but 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Saturday, just keep an eye in that time frame. Most of this is overnight. When you get to this time of the year, strong winds always are the threat. Hail comes second, and tornadoes are almost non-existent. Almost non-existent. They're still possible. Check back in. There's been quite a bit of changing here. I would say the biggest change is that it moved up 4 hours. 71. Dew points are high. You can feel it, right? It feels like it's going to storm. But at this time of the year, most of the storms come when the sun sets. And that's because the low-level jet strengthens as the temperature drops at this time of the year. It does it exceptionally well. So that's why we get storms at night in August. So again, 65 to 71 right now from Bemidji down towards the Twin Cities. See, I'm looking at Bemidji, dew points and temps are the same. So again, that's why we have some fog also up in some spots. Hot and humid, mainly dry. We'll track storms in your next weather. I'm taking double duty when Cece's off here. Have not heard of any accidents. I keep an eye on both of these things here. It's the same system, so if things get messy, I can probably figure it all out for you. But so far, everything's looking good. Just a couple slowdowns near 494.
Nice and quiet. Good to see you, John. Thank you. Back to that breaking news from overnight. We are waiting to hear from St. Paul police about an investigation at the Midway Saloon. That's right near Allianz Field. This is the scene around 1 a.m. Police had the streets blocked off with crime scene tape outside of the bar. Right now, we don't know what happened there, but the area has been cleared. And right now, Minneapolis Fire investigating after an abandoned house caught fire overnight. This was near North 44th Avenue and North Bryant Avenue around 1245. The deputy chief told us the fire started inside and quickly spread to the garage and the fence. They say the home partially collapsed, but no one was injured, was inside or injured.
In just a few hours, the man charged in the targeted attacks on Minnesota state lawmakers will be back in federal court.
It's been nearly 2 months since Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband were shot and killed. Senator John Hoffman and his wife seriously injured. Michelle Beck is at the federal courthouse this morning in Minneapolis with where this case stands right now. Michelle.
Well, hey guys, good morning to you. I just took a look at the U.S. Courts database and it says Vance Belter will have his arraignment and status conference at 10 a.m. That arraignment means Belter will hear the charges he faces read aloud. Then he'll enter his plea. The 58-year-old is expected to plead not guilty, according to his attorney. He's indicted on 6 counts of murder, stalking, and firearms offenses. Prosecutors unveiled this letter they say Belter wrote by hand. In it, he admits to being the shooter behind the June attacks, which killed Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, and wounded State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette. Now, at this time, we are still waiting on the U.S. Attorney General to determine whether or not prosecutors will seek the death penalty. Back to you.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Well, this morning, President Trump's historic new tariffs are now in effect. They kicked in late last night, raising rates on goods in almost every country. Taking a look at the U.S. Futures Board, things so far this morning, good. They're in the green. It's a good sign after stocks dropped significantly last week following Trump's tariff announcement. The universal base rate will remain at 10% for goods from countries that have a trade surplus with the U.S. The base will be 15% when a trade deficit is involved. Brazil is seeing the highest rates with a 50% tariff on goods, followed by Laos and Myanmar with 40%, and Switzerland at 39%.
Developing right now, Henipin County Attorney Mary Moriarty says she is not running for re-election. Moriarty was elected to the role in 2022. Raya Katene has more on the announcement and the reaction.
I have decided not to run for re-election.
Running her office instead of running for office is what Henipin County Attorney Mary Moriarty said in a statement announcing she will not be seeking re-election next year.
People will speculate that I'm doing this because I don't think I can win re-election. That could not be further from the truth. When I ran last time, I was totally transparent about my priorities.
Moriarty was elected in 2022 following Mike Freeman's retirement and previously served as the county's chief public defender for 6 years. From the Hennepin County Commissioner and board chair, applauded Moriarty's work over the past 2.5 years, pointing to the exonerations of 2 wrongfully convicted men, the creation of a new policy for certain visa certifications benefiting immigrant victims, and the creation of the office's expungement clinics. But Moriarty's time in office has not come without controversy, including a case in which 2 teenagers were offered plea deals in the murder of 23-year-old Zaria McKeever, whose parents protested the deal. Moriarty was also criticized for her handling of the case in which Ryan Londrigan, a Minnesota state trooper, shot and killed Ricky Cobb II during a traffic stop in 2023. The Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association filed an ethics complaint accusing Moriarty of prosecutorial misconduct and how her office handled the charges. DFL Representative Cedric Frazier telling me on the phone no one expected this announcement from Moriarty.
I think everybody's surprised. I'm getting texts from everybody that's surprised by this.
And that was Raya Katene reporting. Moriarty still has about 1.5 years left in office.
This morning, a man starts serving the longest prison sentence yet in the Feeding Our Future fraud case. In the last 24 hours, a judge sentenced Abdiaziz Farah to 28 years behind bars. Prosecutors say he's one of the most involved defendants, saying he was among the first to participate and possibly one of the people who came up with the idea. Farah also admitted to being the mastermind behind an attempt to bribe a juror just before deliberations began in his case. He'll be sentenced separately for that conviction.
This morning, operations at United Airlines are getting back to normal after a brief ground stop. It was triggered by a technology issue impacting major airports across the country. United says the tech problem has been resolved, but says to expect residual delays. Now, we just checked on how things are going at MSP this morning. Right now, there's just one canceled flight to Houston and a delayed flight to Denver.
Can you believe this? We are just 2 weeks away from the Great Minnesota Get Together, and right now, the state fairgrounds are officially closed for setup. But when the gates do open, August 21st, you'll be able to enjoy all the Sweet Martha's, cheese curds, and fried ranch you want. You can also try this Summit Brewing Company's exclusive state fair beer called Grandstand Lime Up. The brewer describes it as a refreshing lime lager. The beer will also be available at Summit on a Stick booth and Shanghai Henry's. So I think the lager is a great idea, very refreshing with that fried food.
Something a little bit lighter. You don't want to have a heavy beer and then walk around and eat fried food.
In the, what will certainly almost be 90-degree heat, because
No
that's
doubt